Group has urged the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission to enhance civic and voter education to facilitate a smooth electoral process. ELOG made the call on a day that other stakeholders such as the police, the National Cohesion and Integration Commission and the media undertook to play their specific roles in ensuring a peaceful electioneering period.
A report by the Election Observers Group underscored the importance of civic and voter education in ensuring special interest groups actively participate in the election process.
As ELOG remain concerned that IBC used a smaller sample of 580 out of 46,233 polling stations, which is not representative enough to depict the real picture of the challenges that could occur in the transmission of results from all polling stations.
They are concerned on emergence of electoral violence separately secured an assurance by the police service and regional administration that hotspot areas have been identified and that perpetrators will be dealt with harshly.
Towards the preparations for the 2022 general elections, the National Police Service has put in place elaborate measures and strategies to ensure that security is guaranteed throughout the electoral cycle and enables the IBC to conduct a free, fair and credible elections.
Ours, as I mentioned, is to deliver a peaceful environment for the conduct of free and fair election. And we are assuring Nairobians that the D-Day on the 9th of August this year, they can actually wake up, go cast their vote, and go back to their homes.
The media was also called upon to guard against inflammatory remarks by politicians.
So then it's up to the media sector. The editors have deliberated saying they will deploy in strategic positions. They will try their best to deliver information, but make sure that then you don't rush to get numbers and find that you're peddling information that cannot be verified.
NCIC has made tremendous effort in the roadmap to peaceful elections, guiding and coordinating all the peace stakeholders and the stakeholders who hold the critical role in ensuring that elections go on as expected.
Many of those who are covering it, training and retraining and retraining.
The media is central in this process as the direct liaison between relevant institutions and the public. The government has provided support to the media sector through supporting public agencies involved in elections.
Frederick Moki for Easy Friday.
All right now, police officers Frederick Leliman, Stephen Morogo, Sylvia Wanjohi and police informant Peter Ngoge have been found guilty on 3 counts of murder of human rights lawyer Willie Kimani, his client and a taxi driver. However, police officer Leonard Maina Mwangi has been acquitted by Lady Justice Jessie Lesit. The lawyers of the four have vowed to file an appeal against that particular ruling.
After 6 years of anguish for the families of the slain lawyer Willie Kimani, his client Josephat Mwenda and taxi driver Joseph Mwiruri, the journey towards justice continues. Lady Justice Jessie Lesit, in a 6,000-page ruling, found 4 of the accused persons guilty of the murder of lawyer Willie Kimani, his client Josephat Mwenda and taxi driver Joseph Mwiruri in 2016.
Carefully considered the entire evidence adduced in this case by both sides and have considered the submissions by counsel the authorities relied upon, and having done so, I find that the circumstantial evidence established against the first, second, third and fifth accused persons justify the drawing of an inference of guilt to the exclusion of any other reasonable hypothesis except that of guilt. I considered.
The 4 found guilty are police officers Frederick Leliman, Stephen Morogo, Sylvia Wanjohi and informant Peter Ngoge. Justice Lesit detailed how evidence directly linked the four as principal offenders in the murder of the three. Lesit saying that the first accused, Frederick Leliman, had a motive to kill the second deceased person, Josephat Mwenda, after he made a report against him at the Independent Police Oversight Authority, IPOA, for shooting him.
The first accused was at the Mlolongo police station on the 23rd of June 2016. He proceeded to Mavoko locals, then to Syokimau post, to Syokimau, to Soweto later that evening, where the deceased were all murdered, and to Klimambogo through the Kasupa highway to dump the bodies of the three deceased persons before returning to fetch his co-accused at his bar in Mlolongo for work well done.
On the other hand, police officer Sylvia Wanjiko was classified as a principal offender as she knew that the three deceased persons were locked in the cells prior to their murder and failed to register them in the occurrence book. The fifth accused person, Peter Ngugi, was an informer and narrated how the murder was plotted and that he acted in common accord with the others. The fourth accused, Leonard Maina, was however acquitted by the court.
Alibi defense has shaken the veracity of the evidence of the prosecution against him, being that of the fifth accused alone, and therefore I gave him the benefit of the doubt and acquit him of all the three counts of murder.
It is a judgment that has been welcomed by the families of the victims.
The spirit of those guys who are murdered by the police officers, hawagerest kama judgment haijafanywa ama haki yao haijapatikana, na natarajia mahali roho zao ziko itapumzika vizuri.
Us getting justice today, it offers as a source of comfort to our hearts. Even though it may not bring Willie Kimani back, but it will be comforting to our hearts.
We hope that this particular judgment will send a very strong message to any police officer who is involved in criminal activities, that the law will catch up with you, you will be held to account.
However, Cliff Ombeta, who represented Leliman in the case, is dissatisfied with the ruling.
She has done wrong. The judgment is totally bad. Actually, let me repeat, totally bad. It cannot stand an appeal. When you rely on data for the fourth accused person, you acquit him and say the data shows that he was not at the scene. My first accused person shows you data that shows he could not have been the scene. You choose to believe the fourth accused person he could not have been at the scene, but you choose to believe that my first accused person must have been at the scene.
The four will remain in custody as they await sentencing. With the judgment that has been made today, the family of the three deceased has made a step towards closure, even as they await the sentencing of the four, with the defense saying that it will file an appeal. Nancy Okware, reporting for Easy Friday from Milimani Law Courts, Nairobi.
Now, how the shooting in the arm of a boda boda rider by a rogue policeman led to the death of the rider, his lawyer, Willie Kimani, and a taxi driver is as intriguing as the subsequent murder trial. The length at which the aggressor went to subvert justice and deny the victim state protection, as well as a belated attempt by one suspect to challenge the legitimacy of the trial judge, exemplify the schemes that had for long been employed in denying victims access to justice. John Jacob Curia reports.
23rd of June 2016, a lawyer, his client and taxi driver are abducted in broad daylight as they leave the Mavoko Law Courts. A daring abduction that occasions frantic efforts seeking their whereabouts and mass protests by lawyers in the country demanding for government action on the matter. Willie Kimani, an advocate of the High Court and working with the International Justice Mission, his client Josephat Mwenda and Joseph Miruri, whose only fault was to ferry the two to Mavoko Law Courts in his taxi, were caught in the crosshairs of a rogue police officer. The bodies of the three would be found wrapped in sacks floating in Oldonyo Sabuk River a week later. A well-choreographed murder by the people who were supposed to protect the three an intricate web that ropes in colleagues of a main aggressor, and the failure by the Witness Protection Agency, an institution tasked with protecting witnesses, that finally left them in the open to be targeted by the main aggressor, Senior Police Officer Frederick Leleman. Josephat Mwenda had a run-in with Leleman while operating as a border rider in Mavoko that led to the shooting of Mwenda's right arm, prompting him to file a complaint with the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA. It is at this point that Willie Kimani is instructed by his organization to take up the matter and represent Mwenda. According to evidence adduced in court, Leleman was incensed by Mwenda's move to report him to IPOA and continued to harass him, arresting him and ensuring that he faces trumped-up charges of traffic and drug peddling related offences. It is during the proceedings of this case that Officer Leleman, alongside his colleagues Stephen Cheburet, Sylvia Wanjiko and Leonard Mwangi, would hatch a plot to eliminate Mwenda and his lawyer. The plan would at a later stage rope in police informer Peter Ngugi. In February of 2016, at the height of the heightened aggression against Mwenda, the International Justice Mission, the organization that Willie Kimani worked for, wrote to the Witness Protection Agency, IPOA, and the Inspector General of Police to provide protection to Mwenda, but there was hesitation because he was deemed an accused in the case and not a victim. In the course of a hearing of the traffic charges facing Mwenda, police officers arrested the accused and Kimani, purporting to grill them over a robbery in Meru, but released them after 6 hours. After their abduction on the 23rd of June 2016, while leaving the Mavoko low-courts, the three are suspected to have been murdered at around 10 p.m. the same day by strangulation. Mass protests by lawyers prompted investigations that led to the arrest of the 4 police officers, marking the beginning of a rigorous 6 years of a court case and the pain and anguish of families awaiting justice. On the 11th of August, a judgment for habeas corpus faulted police, saying had they acted on Josephat Mwenda's IPOA complaint, the 3 men might have been saved from their slayers. On the 25th of August, Ngugi, the police informer, was also arrested. Despite the 5 being arrested between July and August and charged, the trial began in November of 2016 before then High Court Judge Jesse Lesit. The prosecution would line up 46 witnesses and 117 exhibits, while the defense had 34 witnesses. During the course of a trial, the police informer who is listed as the 5th suspect attempted to retract his testimony. During the discharge of judgment today, Judge Lesit relied on his corroborated evidence about a note Willie Kimani wrote to his wife and dropped it through a window while being held in a container at the police post, the use of a Toyota NZD vehicle during the execution of the 3, and the presence of a cigarette butt at the murder scene to dismiss the retraction. The police informer also attempted to file a mistrial challenge on the case, claiming that Judge Lesit, who was appointed judge of the Court of Appeal last year, had no jurisdiction on the matter as it was under the High Court. Today's verdict marking the end of the road for the 4, some relief for police officer Leonard Mwangi, and justice finally for Willie Kimani, Josephat Mwenda and Joseph Moiruri, as well as their families. John Jacob Curia, Easy Friday.
Thank you, Judge Curia, for that look at the intrigues surrounding that particular trial that's been on since the year 2016. The death of human rights lawyer Willie Kimani, his client, and a taxi driver, looking at all those intrigues. The ruling today is a guilty verdict for 4 of those. We'll take a quick breather. What are we looking at next?
Absolutely. We'll be back with social media. Remember, there's a lot that's been trending this past week. A lot of stories that, you know, you've had a lot to say about. So make sure you stay tuned because that's coming right after this short commercial break. Don't go too far. This is Easy Friday.
Kupata mafuta kupanda, kama sikiza tune kwenye simu yako, bonyeza *811*962#.
Nashukuru serikali kwa kuongeza bei ya mafuta. Sasa niko kwa highway na hakuna traffic hata kidogo. Naomba serikali iendelee hivyo, tubaki tu watu ya gasla na heavy machine peke yake. Pia mimi naomba huyu serikali waseme kama gari yako ni below 3000cc, gari yako na baki nyumbani, itengeneze nyumba ya kufuga kuku.
Kupata mafuta kupanda, bonyeza *811*962#. *811*962#.
Haya.
We will get money for Kenyans back.
David Mwaure Waihiga of the Agano Party.
Tuko tayari tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8.
William Samoei Ruto of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance.
Mungu tayari kutembea na sisi.
Raila Amolo Odinga of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Party. And
we have wealth in our country.
Professor George Luchiri Wajakoya of the Roots Party. On the battle for State House, the presidential debate 2022, July 26th, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. on every screen, speaker and earpiece in Kenya.
Wiki hii kwenye Mkulima tutajifunza jinsi ya kupima mchanga na umi wake kabla ya kufanya upanzi.
Wima atutembelee ndio tumueleze kama mchanga yake iko na viini mbaya zile zinaweza dhuru mumea.
Ungana nasi Jumapili saa 9:30 hapa KBC Channel 1 kwa uwando kamili.
Then a warm welcome back to Easy Friday. Azimio la Umoja wa One Kenya Coalition presidential flag bearer Raila Odinga says no maize will be imported into the country until local stock is exhausted. Raila, who was leading Azimio campaigns in Trans Nzoia and Bungoma counties today, also pledged to settle the contentious land ownership issue in the region once and for all if elected president in the forthcoming general election. Wycliffe Ketch has more details on this.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya presidential candidate Raila Odinga on Friday led the coalition's campaigns in western Kenya counties of Trans Nzoia and Bungoma, rallying the locals to stand by him in the August 9th vote. Raila told landowners in Trans Nzoia not to be wary, saying no one will throw them out of their properties, promising that should he win the presidency, the contentious land issue in the cosmopolitan county will be a thing of the past.
We want to empower the people of Kenya. We want to empower the youth of our country. We want to create an equal society. That's why we have said that we are going to grant free education, that our children are going to learn from the nursery to primary, secondary, tertiary, up to university without having to pay any fees. Effective next year.
Raila pleaded with the locals to vote for the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition, saying the coalition will bring improved infrastructure, clean water, subsidized cost of farm inputs, and universal health care, among others.
And I'm saying that this youth, once they've acquired the requisite skills, should be able to get responsible jobs, which is repeatable to the kind of skills that they've acquired.
Kama tuna kiongozi katika Kenya hii mwenye amekuwa ofisini na watu wa mkoa wa Magharibi wakabenefit, huyo kiongozi ni Raila Amolo Odinga.
Mimi nimekuja na baba leo, nataka kuambia nyinyi ni mtu ambaye ataongoza Kenya na atafufua uchumi, sivyo?
Leaders accompanying the former Prime Minister insinuating the coalition may boycott the presidential debate scheduled for July 26th unless graft is made part of the agenda of the debate.
Tunatafuta njia gani ya mtu atalinda watoto wetu wa wajukuu wetu. Tutafanya njia gani kupunguza ufisadi ili wawekezaji wapone ajira. Corruption is the number one issue on an ethical debate.
Na utafiti imefanywa ya kwamba baba ndio watashinda kwa zaidi ya 70%. Ile kitu imebaki ni moja peke yake. Sisi wote tujitokeze. Kila mmoja wetu ajitokeze apigie kura siku ya tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 mwaka ya 20.
For Is a Friday, I am Wycliffe Okech.
Now, Deputy President William Ruto has condemned the arbitrary arrest and alleged harassment of IEBC technology personnel on Thursday. Ruto has termed the incident theatrics aimed at arm-twisting the electoral body to introduce a manual register on August 9th, a move they say, if put into consideration, might provide a leeway for electoral malpractice that would compromise the integrity of the elections. As he concluded that his 3 days coastal tour in Kilifi County, the Kenya Kwanza Alliance vowed to resolve some of the perennial issues that have affected residents of the coast region if elected in August. Take a look.
The Kenya Kwanza Alliance wound up its coastal campaigns in Kilifi County with a pledge to revamp the economy if elected into office 18 days from now. Deputy President William Ruto took the chance to condemn the alleged arbitrary arrest and harassment of 3 IEBC technology officers as purported by the electoral body on Thursday.
Mwaka huu tunapiga kura. Tunaelewana? Na ile njama yake ya kawaida no. Mambo ya kungoa reli mwaka huu hakuna. Mambo ya kupigana mawe hakuna. Mambo ya kupanga maandamano hakuna. Mambo ya kujiapisha hakuna. Tunakumalizia asubuhi na mapema na unaenda nyumbani.
Ruto has termed the incident as attempts by his opponents to use state agencies to coerce the independent body to include a manual register on the day of elections, despite it having a pronouncement on the matter. The second in command urged his opponents to stop meddling with affairs of the electoral body and accept the outcome of the results in August.
Hatuwezi kuwaruhusu muangaishe IEBC. IEBC is an independent institution. Askari wetu tunawauliza, musikubali kutumika na watu wa kuanguka kura. Namwambia Chibukati, wewe kaa steady, wewe usisikize mtu, usitusikize na usisikize watu wa kuzimia.
Do not joke with IEBC. You interfere. You try to interfere with IEBC. You are endangering national security.
On the contentious land issue at the coast, the alliance scoffed at the proposed appointment of Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho to head the land ministry to resolve the emotive issue.
Wewe unawadanganya hawa watu wa pwani. Hakuna vile agent wa absentee landlords anaweza kutatua tatizo la maskwota. Mimi nataka kuambia Governor Joho mwisho wake ni pale Mtwapa. Ama vipi?
Local leaders accompanying the Kenya Kwanza flag bearer defended their defection from the ODM party, expressing optimism in economic revitalization of the region through the Kenya Kwanza Alliance.
Maslahi yetu hayako kwa Raila Odinga. Watu wa Kilifi hatutaki kwenda upinzani.
Sentiments that have been reiterated by the Kenya Kwanza running mate during campaigns in Mwea and Kangaita in Kirinyaga County. Rigathi saying that the Kenya Kwanza administration was committed to tackling issues affecting the youth.
As the Kenya Kwanza winds up its coastal tour, their hope is that the 1.3 million electoral basket is combed, harvested, ready for the August 9th. Juni Karisa Mbele from Kilifi County.
All right, and it's time to tone it down a little bit. Time for the social media weekly. Now, this week, Rigathi Gachagua topped the trending chart after he caught the savage netizens off guard. Well, the keyboard warriors had written off the Kenya Kwanza presidential running mate. That's during the deputy presidential debate, only for him to pull a quick one. But while Rigathi showed his unexpected eloquence, Justina Omai of the Wajakoya fame may have stolen the show with her party's innovative ideas that left netizens amazed and full of admiration. Here is the Social Media Weekly.
The week that has had many astonished over how well some politicians can express themselves. Let's dive right in and find out what they had to say. Sound check 1, 2, 3. Did someone forget to check Rigathi Gachagua's sound system during the eagerly awaited deputy presidential debate? The amount of pardons seemed to quite amuse the masses.
How do you finance your campaign, Gachagua? How much does it cost?
Pardon?
How much does it cost to finance your campaign?
Pardon?
How much does it cost to finance your campaign?
Oh, the sound is not working here.
However, for some who expected Rigathi Gachagua to choma picha during the debate had a monumental disappointment, which saw various tweets flock the socials. Lawrence, Rigathi of debate is different from Rigathi of news. Mutinda tweeted, "Nah, this dude has been coached. Ain't no way he used the word innuendo." Ha ha ha. Laughing emoji. Remember Rigathi quipping after all, "Martha is my mother."
My mother, since mother, who is actually my mother.
But let's swim deeper into the amusement park and hear Wajakoya's running mate Justina Wamai can seize amazing netizens.
We can look at alternatives to the challenges. If maize flour is costly, then marijuana flour can cook ugali, can cook chapati.
Mikey, hapa sasa mnataka tuchizi. What do we call weed chapati? Mliwa, shashapati. You get it?
Say what?
A sigh of relief as unga prices were reduced from 230 to 100 shillings to feed the hungry nation. However, the move has attracted different thoughts and emotions from keyboard warriors, some happy, others puzzled of the price's sudden price drop. Lil Wayne tweeted, "Lazima kuna stuff imewekwa in that unga," to which Casey responded, "Ikiwa juu mnateta, ikishuka mnateta." Clinton, mwenye duka amesema niende unga ya Mia State House. Well, that's it for us this Friday. Catch you next week on Savage Netizens. For Easy Friday, I am Teresa Mutai.
Right, now moving on to my culture. Now, the Isukuti dance is a traditional and celebratory performance practiced amongst the Isuka and Idaho subgroups of the Abaluya in Western Kenya. When it is performed and by who to whom? Well, this week on My Culture, we focus on the Isukuti dance.
Dance is an integral tool for cultural transmission and harmonious coexistence between families and communities. It permeates most occasions and stages in life, including childbirth, initiation, wedding, funeral, commemoration, inauguration, religious festivity, sporting event, and other public congregations.
Isukuti ni kazi, sio kitu ya kuchezea. Isukuti inafanya kama hauna pipi utapata pipi. Utakutana na msichana hachaoleka, lakini anaposikia tu ile mwito na kucheza, chinzi mwenzangu alivyosema, ngozi ya mburukenge ukiiwekea, ukicheza sauti inaenda mbali.
Practiced among the Isuha and Idaho communities of Western Kenya, the Isukuti dance is a traditional celebratory performance that takes the form of a fast-paced, energetic, and passionate dance accompanied by drumming and singing.
Wakati wageni walifika, Isukuti ikachezwa na ile wakati ilikuwa inaitwa mwinu huyu. Hawakuwa na jina kamili ya hiki chombo. So wakati isukuti ilikuwa inapigwa walikuwa wana kwinu, yani ile kutingika ile ndio mwinu huyu. Na ndio tulikuwa tunajua hata kabla. Wakati wale wazungu wakacheza walikuja at final wakasema it is good. So kulingana na accent ya Muisuka akasema babodi isukuti. Ani wamesema isukuti.
The dance derives its name from the drums used in the performance, played in the sets of 3, a big, medium and small drum, and normally accompanied by an antelope horn and assorted metal rattles. A soloist leads the dance, singing thematic text in tandem with the rhythm of the drum beats and the steps of the dancers, arranged in separate rows for men and women. According to one of the dancers, Asutsi, Isukuti involves members of a nuclear family. He says according to Isukuti has an extended family that comprises Isukuti in 3 sets.
Katika lugha yetu ya Kisuha, ile isukuti kubwa inaitwa isukuti esatsa, ambayo inafuata ambayo ni mama kulangwa motivo, na ile ndogo kabisa the small drum hiyo ndio inaitwa mutiti. Hii ni familia ya isukuti. Isukuti iko na extended family ambayo kuna zile rings, kuna ile horn na kuna shiriri. Kuna shiriri. So in a extended family ya isukuti.
They also blow horns and a shiriri, which is an instrument with strings, which is extended family. Its origin dates back to ancient times. It was called Mwinuyo. It's made from mukomari, murembe and mongoma trees and hides, but the mukomari is the easily found tree.
Inatengenezwa kwa miti aina mbalimbali. Kuna mukomari, kuna mungoma na kuna murembe. Lakini mti ambao unapatikana kwa haraka sana ni mukomari.
Burukenge or Nile monitor lizards, leather is used to cover it.
Hiyo ukaushi kwa moto, ni ngozi ambayo ni safi, sauti ambayo inatoka ni safi, na watu wanaifurahia kwa sababu hiyo ndio ngozi ambayo inakubalika kwa isukuti.
Kutoka kwa maji hiyo, ukiangalia iko na matoatoa, iko na maritati. Hiyo ndio the specialist. Hii ni special skin ile wanatumia kuweka kwa ngozi.
It is played on birthdays, weddings, harvesting and other ceremonies that would include shiremba, which is an event that involves men alone.
Isukuti imechezwa kwa sherehe mbalimbali. Isukuti imechezwa kwa mahari, isukuti imechezwa kwa maharambe, isukuti imechezwa katika campaigns, political campaigns, hata tukiwa na sherehe ya watoto, birthdays, bullfighting, na hata ile occasion yenye ina furaha, isukuti uchezwa pale.
Isukuti unites people and even soothes them in sad occasions.
Piga isukuti unatuliza zile mioyo ambazo zilikuwa na huzuni, unawacha ziko na furaha kidogo.
For Asutsi, Isukuti has helped him eke a living.
Katika nyumba kusomesha watoto na mahitaji mbalimbali ambayo tunaweza kutumia. Mimi ni mwenyeji wa kuzitengeneza na zimenifanya nimenunua shamba kwa hizi unapochonga market zinapopatikana.
Those still in possession of Isukuti drums are mostly elderly and lack successors to whom they can pass on their knowledge. Adding that lack of funds and the necessary material have presented an obstacle to make the instruments and costumes.
Wasi wazazi wasifungie talanta ya watoto, wawache wafanye talanta, na katika talanta kuna malipo, watafika mbali.
Finally, many composers prefer to work in more commercial genres, and audiences frequently substitute contemporary entertainment for traditional Isukuti dances.
Kupata mafuta kupanda, kama sikiza tune kwenye simu yako, bonyeza *811 962 hash.
Nashukuru serikali kwa kuongeza bei ya mafuta. Sasa niko kwa highway na hakuna traffic hata kidogo. Naomba serikali iendelee hivyo, tubaki tu watu ya gasla na heavy machine peke yake. Pia mimi naomba huyu serikali waseme kama gari yako ni below 3000 cc, gari yako na baki nyumbani, itengeneze nyumba ya kufuga kuku.
Kupata mafuta kupanda, bonyeza *811 962 hash. *811 962 hash.
Aya.
As times changes, technologies grow, and so you need to be in the know.
We are looking into matters, technology and education.
We bring you updates in tech news the world over, exciting features, exceptional Kenyan innovations, and very informative interviews. Join me, Stephanie Ayeta and Grace Githaiga, as we serve you with only the best tech updates the world over. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
We will get money for Kenyans back.
David Mwaure Waihiga of the Agano Party.
Tuko tayari tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8.
William Samoei Ruto of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance.
Mko tayari kutembea na sisi?
Raila Amolo Odinga of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Party. And
we have wealth in our country.
Professor George Luchiri Wajakoya of the Roots Party. On the battle for State House, the presidential debate 2022, July 26th, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. on every screen, speaker and earpiece in Kenya.
Good evening and thank you for keeping it easy Friday on KBC Channel 1. Time now to get into the business news. My name is Betty Kiptum. Those who buy maize flour from posho mills, cereal shops and other informal channels will not benefit from the maize flour subsidy unveiled by the government on Wednesday this week. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya says the subsidy program is designed to be executed through millers. Munya says an oversight committee has been constituted to oversight the subsidy program to ensure millers comply with the terms. Take a look.
Posho mill and cereal shops will not be considered for the subsidy program, as the government says there are no modalities to compensate them. The government says the 8 billion shillings subsidy program will only cover half of the 350 million shillings old maize flour stock by only those in the formal sector.
Na ni kweli kuna huyo pia alikuwa na unga yake ambayo ni ya bei ya juu ambayo hajui afanye naye nini. Kwa hivyo tutafikiria kama wizara, bwana katibu, tuanze kufikiria ni vipi tutaweza kufikia hawa.
It says an oversight committee has been constituted to oversee the subsidy program, and already 70 millers have inked a deal with the government that will see the subsidized maize flour retail at 100 shillings until maize flour prices stabilize.
Millers will sign on to the subsidy program to be able to compete. Otherwise, you're out-competed by somebody who is selling at 100 and you're trying to stick to the 200 shillings.
Together with the treasury, we put aside 8 billion to fund the program. And if need for more money arises, then the account will be replenished.
Munya blames the scarcity of maize flour in some retail outlets on panic buying by shoppers, saying the government has finalized the process of importing 300,000 metric tons of maize from Zambia.
Which all interested millers are able to access and be able to buy. So there is no need for panic buying, because we will ensure there is steady supply of maize to ensure that this program succeeds.
The National Treasury has so far disbursed funds to compensate millers, $500 million shillings balance from the 2017 maize subsidy program.
Mazungumzo yetu tumekubaliana hiyo ndeni pia itashughulikiwa wakati huu. Na ni ndeni kidogo.
Kenya has a 6 million maize bag deficit until the harvest season. Benson Rioba reporting for Easy Friday.
Thank you, Benson Rioba, for that report. Now, over 8,000 teachers and their dependents in Kericho County will now access medical services from 6 county public hospitals under the Teachers Medical Scheme. Minet Kenya CEO Sami Mudhui says the shift from offering the Teachers Medical Scheme exclusively at private and faith-based mission hospitals is part of the firm's strategy to ease access to medical services by the teaching fraternity.
Data shows that wealthier Kenyans are better protected than their poorer compatriots, with only 3% of the Kenyan poor having access to any health insurance coverage compared to 38% among the rich. This is compounded by most medical insurance providers offering to work with private hospitals.
And we promise all the teachers that we are doing our best to ensure that you get the best. Again, just probably in quick response to what I heard from the Kesha team leader, about the areas we need to improve on the administration side. That's well in place in terms of the plans that we are having on that. You know, with regards to, you talked about the approval, the 7-day rule, the capitation limits, all that is under review, and I can assure you in a short period of time you'll never be hearing about those issues.
Mine Kenya has broken ranks to rope in 6 public hospitals to offer medical services to teachers in Kericho County. This is expected to have the multiplier effect of not only easing access to medical services, but also improving service delivery at their health facilities. The deal involves access of medical service at a public health facility by over 8,000 teachers and their dependents. Mine Kenya is contracted by the Teachers Service Commission as insurance broker for provision of medical services for more than 318,000 teachers and their dependents. Ina Manyara reporting for Easy Friday.
And Kenya's green buildings remain low due to a lack of proper policies and expertise. The Kenya Green Building Society says county governments need to implement and adopt a sustainable building framework to boost foreign investors' interest in the sector, which currently stands at 3%.
The number of certified and registered green buildings in Kenya stands at 64, a growth from 48 buildings in March this year, and a 100% rise from 2020. The Kenya Green Building Society says this growth projection could be accelerated through foreign investor involvement, which is very low in the country. Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure Urban Planning Advisor Caleb Mireri says a multi-sectoral approach is necessary to ensure all parties involved in the building process implement sustainable building practices.
You have a role to play to ensure that the green building concepts, design, applications are mainstreamed in our systems.
Investors are keen to understand what you're doing for your organizations to get on track on ESG. And hopefully, if we do, then the benefits are enormous because we can set the trend for other African countries to follow. And because we're, climate change champions in Africa, we can then translate it to real change where businesses are not just making profit, but are also helping communities.
Green construction stakeholders say the adoption of sustainable building practices and materials is cheaper, and more developers could adopt it with better outreach and framework implementation by the government.
How sustainability plays out in Kenya and Africa is different from how it plays out to other countries in the world, so we need to localize that, and we can only do that if we have conversations happening.
Investor awareness and attraction is key in ensuring Kenya remains a leader continentally in sustainable buildings.
Hibak Said for Easy Friday.
Now, poultry farmers in Naivasha are shifting to rearing ornamental birds following the influx of poultry products from outside the country, which has made their produce uncompetitive. The farmers say the birds are fetching better prices in the market as their products are in high demand, while the cost of their feed is lower.
Poultry farming, a venture that was viewed as lucrative, has faced myriad of challenges, including high cost of poultry feed, low genetic potential, low productivity, poor feeding with little supplementation, diseases, poor management, and lack of organized market. This, compounded with cheaper imports from neighboring countries, has made the venture expensive to maintain with low returns. In Naivasha, farmers are looking at ornamental birds which are now fetching better prices in the market and their products are in high demand. Joyce Swakira, an ornamental bird farmer, says she was attracted to the venture by the low cost of production as she and her colleagues use locally produced feeds.
Na ukulima ambao tulikuwa tunafanya hapo bereni, tumepata hii ukulima ikiwa na faida kubwa sana kwa sababu kama vitu kama ornamental birds sitatumia the same duration kumachua yenye kuku ya kawaida itatumia. Lakini ule kuku utapata tuko na kuku tunauza 15,000 pair moja, tuko na kuku tunauza mpaka 300,000 like peacocks, na utapata ya kwamba kuku wa kawaida nikimlea miezi 6 bado nitamuuza 1,000 na mtu atataka kubagain.
The farmers are targeting the local market and are seeking support from the government to access the international markets. Farmers as far as Nyandarua County have also embraced ornamental bird farming and echoing the same sentiments of expensive cost of production.
Kirudi huko kwetu Nyandarua, Manyata, tutafanya hii kazi ya madege kwa sababu tumesikia hii ni kazi nzuri na inaleta faida sana.
Shamba makubwa tumeanza kushindwa ni mashamba inatusaidia nini? La kulingana na vile tumeona mamilioni ya pesa imelala hapa na ni pahali padogo sana.
Reporting for Easy Friday, I'm Terry Njenga.
Terry Njenga's story there brings us to a close of the business stories this evening. But of course, Karen Kibet is standing by with the latest from the world of sports. My name is Betty Kiptum. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Bye-bye.
The World Athletics Championships in Oregon is already underway. Don't miss a single glorious moment, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1.
Thank you for keeping it easy Friday. My name is Karen Kibet. Let's now take a look at what's making headlines in the world of sports. Now, Egypt were crowned cadets team champions of the Africa Junior and Cadets Judo Championship after beating Angola 4-1 in the final played today at the Kasarani Indoor Arena. 4 Egypt players, Safa Soliman, Hazem Hossam, Zainab Safa and Zagda Gonim, won their matches against Angolan opponents, and only Fares Ibrahim lost his match. The win handed them a gold medal, with Angola settling for the silver. South Africa won bronze after registering 4 wins to 1 against Burundi in their third place match. In other team matches, Kenya lost to Cameroon 4-1, with only Daniel Kelly winning his match. 6 Kenyan players have already collected medals, 2 winning silver and 4 taking the bronze medals. Now the juniors will begin their matches tomorrow, with the continental event set to end on Sunday. The world champion, Faith Kipyegon, is going for nothing less than the 1500 meters world record at the Monaco Diamond League on 10th August. Kipyegon, on her arrival in the country last night from Oregon, where she won the world gold medal in the 1500 meters, promised to break the world record, which stands at 3 minutes 50.07 seconds, set in 2017 by Ethiopia's Genzebe Dibaba.
On her arrival last night from Oregon,
Kipyegon said that the elusive world record will be her target at the Monaco Diamond League on the 10th of August.
I can say now I'm really looking forward to get what I'm still missing in my pocket, which is world record. And I hope I'm going to work hard and pray God to give me that strength to achieve the world record. I can say it's really something special. I didn't know I'm the first lady to have achieved such great achievement in 1500. But I'm so grateful and I'm looking forward to be the GOAT in 1500 and and do the best.
She is at the moment the only Kenyan gold medalist at the Oregon World Championships.
Congratulations, Faith Kipyegon, and we sure do wish you all the best in your world record attempt in the 1500 meters. Moving on, Kenya's Jacob Kirop, Daniel Simiyu and Nicholas Kipkorir boosted their chances of bagging medals at the ongoing World Athletics Championships in Oregon, the United States, after they qualified for the final of the men's 5,000 meters early today. The last time Kenya bagged gold in the 12.5 lap race was back in 2005.
Kenyans Jacob Krop, Daniel Simiyu and Nicholas Kipkorir qualified for the final of the men's 5,000 meters early this morning in Oregon, United States. Krop won the race in 13 minutes, 13.30 seconds and qualified alongside Simiyu, who finished 6th, timing 13 minutes and 74 seconds, but his time fell within the qualification bracket.
Shelter will be there, so too.
Kipkorir also qualified as one of the fastest losers, having finished 6th in the semi-final.
Always great when you get that expectant hush before the race starts. You can hear.
Mary Moraa and Naomi Korir also qualified for the semi-finals of the women's 800 meters.
In the hunt for a non-automatic spot. Meanwhile at the front, Gould from Moraa. Vilglos takes 3rd. Good running as well by Kohlberg and Shannon. These are going to be truly fascinating. Look.
Emmanuel Korir, Wycliffe Kinyamal and Emmanuel Wanyonyi all made it through to the final of the men's 800 meters.
3rd, can he close down the Australian? He's having to work really, really hard here. The Olympic champions coming through. Kinyamal in 2nd, Bol 3rd, a late charge for the line.
Kenya will be banking on Nicholas Kimeli, who clocked the fastest time during the Rome Dialogue League on 9th June, smashing the record then held by illustrious Eliud Kipchoge, who has since shifted to the marathon races. The Kenyans will be seeking to restore the country's lost glory in the distance that has been dominated by the Ugandans and Ethiopians for many years when they line up for the final. The last time Kenya bagged gold in the 12.5 lap race was back in 2005.
And those are all the sports stories we had for you tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. My name is Karen Kibet. Enjoy your weekend. But the bulletin is not yet over, as I do hand you back to Shiksha, Arora and John Kago.
Thank you, Karen Kibet, Market Express, for that sporting update. And we still continue the coverage of the World Athletics Championships in Oregon. We're coming to the very first part, end of the very first part of Easy Friday. That's where we brief you on the news that's been shaping up. Coming up next is the Spotlight. Shiksha, you have that? What are you looking at?
Right, so tonight on Spotlight we have the YouTubers, TikTokers, Kenya's most popular dance couple. They're called Tile and Martina. They've just come back from Spain. They've had a very interesting journey. Started off dating and then actually started off dancing together and then dated and then got married. Now they've got a baby.
Oh, sounds like the perfect love story. Oh my goodness.
Moved to Spain for a bit. Now they're back.
Oh, that's an interesting.
Very, very interesting
you
story.
You don't want to miss that one.
Oh yes, you are going to make sure that you definitely feel inspired with their story.
Absolutely.
You know, he is just a boy who fell in love with a girl from Spain, and now they've they've ended up becoming Kenya's most popular YouTube dancing sensation. In fact, not just in Kenya, but internationally as well. They've got followers from all parts of the world, so make sure you tune in. I'll be talking to them about their journey, their love story, and of course, all things dance, so you cannot miss out on this one.
All right, definitely. That's coming right after this. My name is John Kago. Thank you for choosing us tonight on behalf of the team. Good night. So long.
DJ Cold Jazz.
Listen the game. I'm trying to make sense of this love me and you have. Mapenzi matamu, lakini yangu na wewe ni shubiri. Baby.
Our loving never been right, so why don't we love wrong? All we do is fight. Been at it for so long, but it's still in our eyes. We can never let this go. Just keep loving you, loving wrong.
First of all, baby boo, nimechoka na madrama. Naona hii nyumba kuna siku nitahama. Kelele kila siku, hii ndoa inazama. Naona uamini, you are my one and only mama. Baby, mi nataka tu uhusiano iwe strictly me and you. Ukinona na mademu niamini tu. Nipo kufa kupona, and that's what's up.
I try to keep it cool, happy to play the happy fool, but I know what you keep from me. Lisa, Brenda, even when day you say you don't play, baby, you're the master of this game, and every day still you play, every day still I stay. Having never been right, so why don't we love wrong? All we do is fight. Been at it for so long, but it's still in our eyes. Sasumbua tena bila kikomo na ipo na cheketua ninapiga shift double decker, sina muda wa kudeka, mapenzi yashanipiga chenga, kizengua mina sepa, napiga shift double decker, sina muda wa kudeka, mapenzi yashanipiga chenga, kizengua mina sepa, nataka usiku moja niwe nipekeche hadi chei, ila mapenzi niwe, nataka usiku moja niwe nipekeche hadi chei, ila mapenzi niwe, niko tepe kama gypsy zege, usiku moja niwe nitembeze fimbo ya utembe, usiku moja niwe niko tepe kama gypsy zege, usiku moja niwe nitembeze fimbo ya utembe, usiku moja niwe.
I wanna be rich, I wanna be famous, I wanna have lots and lots of money. So about the cloud. I wanna be rich, I wanna be famous, I wanna be rich, I wanna be rich, I wanna be rich, I wanna be famous, I wanna have lots and lots of money. So about the clouds, I wanna be free. Like Nelson Mandela, stand tall like a pyramid, so courageous. No place I'd rather be. Oh na na na, oh na na na. There's no place I'd rather be. Oh na na na. Live and die in Africa. I wanna live and die in Africa. Live and die in Africa. Hey, live and die in Africa. Hey, I wanna be loved, I wanna be remembered. napata the juice. Na sitoki nyumbani mwacha mila mtumwa. No place I'd rather go.
Maisha ni kama safari na yangu isha na wananga. Tuna siku mbili muhimu, ya kuzaliwa na ya kuzama. Yangu ya kuzaliwa nishaijua, bado ya kuzama toka duniani. Wanaongea sana na hawajui kule nimetoka. Wakisema na didimia, ona bado na bebea. Wakinyombea mabaya duniani, nazidi rusha zaidi yao. Wakidhani na didimia, ona bado na bebea. Wakinyombea mabaya duniani, nazidi rusha zaidi yao. Najiangalia kwa kioo, najiangalia kwa kioo. Nijue tofauti ya jana na leo. Najiangalia kwa kioo.
Oh, have you seen my Arora? So sweet and fine like Arora. She comes in the morning, Arora. Still have her in my night time. Gives me hangover, Arora. But I don't care, no. Arora. So smooth and clean like Arora. My name is Roberto, Arora. My name is Roberto, Arora. Name is Roberto.
Cold Jack.
Oh, have you seen my Arora? So sweet and fine like Arora. She comes in the morning, Arora. Still have her in my night. Gives me hangover, but I don't care. So smooth and clean like don't ever touch my Arora. Arora. Fire, fire on my road. You fit in my life, you fit in my head. You fit to really go and say she don't get drunk easily. She can dance till 5 in the morning. No car, house or money. Can never get to change her mind on me. Yes, I be a sugar daddy, and she don't want nobody but me. You like it when I go crazy. You I can never leave. Arora. Oh, have you seen my Arora? So sweet and fine like Arora. She comes in the morning. Arora.
Sexy love, what she need for my bad boy like me. Yeah, yeah. Sexy kiss is the thing that she ain't for my lips. Yeah, yeah. My SSL is the only air that she breathes. And when I look into her eyes, I know that she can never get enough of me. Your body high me like lean. When we do it, snip skin. And as the rush they increase, I feel the drip in your Shorty say she feeling so. She grab my neck and she whisper please. Shorty give me the piece from my chest to my waist.
Say me look good in a my skin tight dress. 10 out of 10 maybe more than me. Girl from the east side body and does a jiggle and a shake like a twerk contest. Baby please don't you leave and tell me say me pum pum breast bless. Body like if me a rest.
Stop it! That's you now, wicked!
10 out of 10 maybe more. Say me look good in a my skin tight dress. 10 out of 10 maybe more. Say me look good in a my skin tight. Say me look good in a my skin. Say me look good in skin dress. 10 out of 10 maybe more. Spot girl from the east side, but things just a jiggle shake like a twerk contest. Baby please don't you leave and and tell me say me move bless cardiac if you rest me. Spin me like a bottle of the Pepsi. Done that the better than a marksman. Top shot a bank for baguette. Cola money up the stack. Papa me not in no boring man. Me no hero, but in a the me do the touring. Done anything where you need, where you want it. Skills me possess, me get my planted. Pretty in a face, in a waist, I'm me talented. 2 balls in a one hand, send me balance. Send me hotter than a pepper pot. Boom flick, pony stick, let me is a acrobat. Tick 10 tack, drop it hot with a squat. One bad for me man, one bad for you done. Now him say him with a threesome. Cheap on the kitty just a reason. Him just a admire with features. Tie way up like a sneaker. Boy you too eager. If me put it in a matic, bet you say you want money. See me passage cars got me, yeah she lavish but she savage. You a gal is in a polish, I'm a door all malice. Take me eye like Charlie, take me to another planet. Is a bad man me want, up in a me tight hole. But don't go do dung, send me on a high road. Put me leg in the sky, put it in a flight mode. I no visa fi fly, you give me passport.
Nairobi, from everywhere, Eldoret to Kitale, Kisumu to Migori to Kisii,
Pick up kila mtu on a new today. Haso ni lazima tunapiga everyday. Beba mizigo ama kubeba wase. Tunapita ni kama ni highway. Pick up kila rider anakula jasho yake. Kila rider ana raise family. Kila rider ana wabeba kwa market. Na kutia bede. Juboda boda yangu ni hero. Nando mana mimi ni hero. Boda boda yangu ni hero. Nando mana mimi ni hero. Oh yeah, let's fight.
Boda boda mpaka Kisumu.
Let's fight.
Boda boda mpaka Nairobi.
Let's fight.
Boda boda mpaka Mombasa.
Bingwa barabarani. Bingwa barabarani. Boda yangu iko safe ndani no. Inafika kila pande kila kona. Naweza kusave kama umekwama. Ukuwe jiji ama kwa shamba. Tuna zungu na zunguka. Shughuli bado tunapiga. Zungu na zunguka. Pole pole. Boda boda yangu ni hero. Na ndo maana mimi ni hero. Boda boda yangu ni hero. Na ndo maana mimi ni hero. Oh yeah, let's fight.
Boda boda mpaka Kisumu.
Let's fight.
Boda boda mpaka Nairobi.
Let's fight.
Boda boda mpaka Mombasa.
Inadada sauti ya juu. Na ndugu zangu je sauti ya katikati.
February 14 ni siku mbaya kama una mchumba. Ni siku mbaya kama una 14. Ni siku mbaya kama una mchumba. Ni siku mbaya kama una.
You're rocking with the best in the business. It's DJ Holchat.
Inadada sauti ya juu. Na ndugu zangu je sauti ya katikati.
February 14 ni siku mbaya kama una mchumba. Ni siku mbaya kama una 14. Ni siku mbaya kama una mchumba. Ni siku mbaya kama una.
Kwa wale hawana wapenzi
tukutane kwa
wale fea zitakulwa
tukutane kwa
wale simu watazimiwa
tukutane kwa
kama uko na mademu wawili
utashikwa baba.
Inye wale wote hawana wapenzi. Siku ni ya kupendana lakini tuko lonely.
Februari ni mwezi mbaya. Wale hawana wachumba ni mbaya.
I'ma get no be so. Girl, you won't capture my soul. I'ma get no be so. Make you one bombo. Better, bye. Better, bye. I'm loose. Even better done the para. Nothing joke. I'm in Josie. Won't call if you want Josie. I'm not playing with you, I'm not joking. My thought.
Chombeza ugo na misimjimi wala akitaka nampa aisukari nampatia sugar sukari nampatia sukari nampatia sugar sukari nampatia sukari nampatia sugar.
Welcome to Easy Friday. This is Shiksha Arora with you. Remember, if you would like to interact with us on the show tonight, the hashtag is Easy Friday at KBC Channel 1 at Shiksha Arora. And with me tonight are two superstars. Their love story has absolute no limits in terms of countries, in terms of race, in terms of anything that you would think of. I feel like they've crossed all boundaries, and here they are tonight with a 10-month-old baby whose name is Baby Tiago, already has 23,000 followers on Instagram. What are you doing with your life? Let's talk about Martina and Tile. Hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
We're amazing.
Amazing?
Yeah.
Tile, you know, I remember watching your videos a long time ago when you first started doing YouTube videos, and then Justin Bieber and Cardi B and all these international celebrities shared your videos. And then from there, everything changed, right?
Yeah.
So your dance journey, how long have you been dancing for, and how long did it take to officially get that big break?
Okay, well, dancing, I've been dancing since I was little.
Wow.
But like commercially, just like, let me see, 4 or 3 years ago. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think COVID is where everything just changed, right?
During that COVID period is when now I blew up real good.
Okay.
Yeah, because all my audience was like, you know, in one place now. So
Yeah.
all I had to do was deliver.
And you delivered quite well. Martina, your love story is just something that's so beautiful. It's so special. I've heard a lot about it. I've seen the two of you. You're both my friends, and I've seen you grow into these beautiful individuals, from boyfriend, girlfriend, to husband, wife, to now parents.
Yes.
And just in 2 years, everything has just been so fast. But like, it's just so amazing to see how you've managed to take up all these responsibilities and move to Spain and then come back. How has it been?
Okay, it hasn't been easy, let me tell you that. Like, we've had our highs and lows, like every couple do. But yeah, it's been a lot to take on, of responsibilities, of changes, but I think we've handled it like pretty graciously, honestly. Like,
so tell me your love story, and people don't know how you met. I want to know how.
We've never told.
I want to know how Tile and Martina met.
Well, to be honest,
did she come to your dance class?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a stalker.
Basically, yeah.
I've been doing a lot of research to know how you guys met, and then I saw a video.
I've never told you.
No, you've never told me,
Okay.
but I saw a video where I think she said that she came to your dance class, or she messaged you, and she said,
Okay, yeah. I posted that through. Yeah.
You did, right? You messaged him asking, do you offer dance classes? And then he's like, yes, I do. Come for my dance class.
Yeah.
And here we are today.
Yeah. But it took me like a month since I DM'd him first. It took me like a month to actually go.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we had been like texting a little bit.
And then when you met each other, how was it?
I mean,
Was it love at first sight?
I can say so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like I had my reservations because I was going back to Spain.
Yes.
Back then. So I didn't want to like start anything.
Yeah.
And then like having to go back.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the end, he lured me. He lured me.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so your journey as dancers as well has been very interesting, because you two were very different personalities, and then you came together and you decided to build your own brand on YouTube, which again just blew up all of a sudden. And I feel like, I'm going to say this, everything Tile touches turns into gold. That's what I think.
Low key.
Low key, right?
Yes.
Yes, and it's been amazing for you, Tile, because I guess when you decided to do a couple's YouTube channel, did you expect to get this response?
To be honest, I did.
You did? I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I normally take a lot of time before I do something.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually put in a lot of thought. I usually plan a lot, and I do a lot of research before I do anything. And then I put in all the work focused on one thing. You know, I just don't put my work just like
all
that.
over.
Yeah, I focus my work on one thing,
right?
And it normally goes through.
And it translated to something so special, right? So when you decided to move to Spain, What was that? What was that? How did that thought process, come into play? What did you decide, and why did you decide to move to Spain? What was the whole reason behind that?
I was pregnant.
Yes.
Basically, I was pregnant, so I didn't want to give birth here. Like, pregnancy and birth is such a vulnerable
time.
time.
Yes.
And I didn't want to be away from my family, my mom, and also for example, Tile's parents, they don't live in Nairobi, so they wouldn't have been with us in that moment so much. And I mean, we didn't know what to do with a baby, so we had to go.
You're both very young yourselves, right?
Yeah, and also the baby was not planned.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was unexpected. And to make matters worse, we knew 4 months in.
Yeah, we had so little time
to plan what to do and figure out what the way forward is.
I was very stressed the whole time because I did not want to go to Spain. Because I had already set up everything. My life was going pretty well here. I had businesses running, and then all of a sudden,
you had to go.
I have to change my country. If it was changing to a different city, something else. But all of a sudden, I have to go
different continents.
Africa to Europe.
Exactly.
To make matters worse,
had you ever been to Europe before?
No.
Wow.
You know how difficult visas are,
especially during the pandemic.
Yeah,
and
everything was so stressful.
There was also
honestly.
a time limit, because at some point you can't board
travel
the plane
anymore.
Yes.
So, you
just made that decision quickly and flew to Spain.
That's when you understand how the Kenyan system works now.
My goodness, that's
because
insane.
Immediately they realize you have some urgency, you will suffer.
Wow. All right, so then when you went to Spain and you had baby Tiago, it must have been so different. Firstly, you're a young mother, Tile has to move his entire life from Nairobi, Kenya to Spain. How was that transition, Tile?
It was hectic.
You always say it's an eye-opener.
It was very hectic. A lot of people here thought I went to Spain. Now all I did was
just relax.
Sleep, and my in-laws showered me with money.
I wish.
And I was like, I wish it was like that. That would
but you
have
had
been
to work
beautiful.
hard.
That would have been beautiful. I would just be sleeping and getting rich. But then it wasn't. I had to work hard. I had a baby right there. I had a family. I still had to work and learn the language and everything because I had to live there. I had to learn how to drive, everything.
You even bought a car over there.
I had to literally start everything like a baby.
From scratch.
So it was just
hard work.
Me, big baby and my small baby.
Oh, big baby and my small baby. I like that.
And then my beautiful baby.
So Chile, you said you learned Spanish. Did you actually end up becoming fluent at it? Were you able to have a conversation?
Fluent? No. Conversation?
Yes. With her family?
Basic
with your in-laws?
Yeah. Because her mom, for instance, doesn't speak any English.
Most of my family don't speak any English, actually.
That's
the
crazy.
father-in-law, just a little bit,
So how were you able to communicate in the beginning? It was difficult.
It was just,
sign language.
Exactly.
I love it.
Actually, there's a day we had even a misunderstanding, I remember, and she was telling me there is a rat, Yeah. And then I went in there and I found a snake.
Yeah. Because my mother lives in the countryside.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
And then us, we lived in the city. So we had gone to her mom's place.
Days,
so she says, hey, come, there's a rat. Me, the African man, I go with my chest.
And then you found it was
a
a snake.
I came back like a bullet.
Wow, what interesting experience you must have had there.
And I was like, what?
Food, culture, language, everything is new.
Food for me, it was pathetic, I won't lie.
Oh no, because you're used to.
Yeah.
You're used
I literally survived on bread.
I love Spanish food.
Who doesn't? Only him.
Yeah.
But
when a man is used to his ugali and his kuma and his Kenyan food, githeri, how?
So different.
Yeah, exposure, right?
I'm not a huge fan of Kenyan food.
Of course. So you see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting that you had to go there and you had to start afresh. You had to cope with everything. You had to learn everything. You had to unlearn a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I usually say that it's easier for women to adapt than men.
Yeah, it is.
Clearly, Martina has become so Kenyan.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Very
right?
first.
Right?
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, now that you're back in Kenya, I've noticed that you're really working hard on building Tiago's brand as well, which is incredible because he was just telling me at 10 months, Tiago is at a media house.
Yeah.
And he's like, it took me 24 years to get there. And that's because he's got parents like you.
Yeah.
So, in terms of Tiago's future, have you guys thought about what, you expect him to do if he gets offers to be in like ads or, stuff like that? What do you think?
We actually are pushing it so much because we believe like he can sell anything at this
He's
point.
made for the camera.
Yeah, like he
and
he
also, to be honest, the world is changing at this
Yes.
point. A few years back, people
Yes.
wouldn't want their kids on the internet and
Yes.
stuff. But now, the whole world is geared towards the internet. Marketing and everything is all about the internet. So if you can get a job at such a young age,
Why
better
not?
for you.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the love that you both have been getting from people around the world has been insane.
Yeah.
Like I go to your TikTok and I just scroll through the comments and everything is so positive. It's so beautiful to see that an interracial couple like yourself has been accepted both in Kenya and in Spain. When you had your love story, did you ever think there'd be any problems because of your culture differences?
Well,
I didn't think it at the time, but I think cultural barriers are a thing.
Yes.
Definitely within a relationship. From the outside though, like apart maybe from racism, in some like occasions, I don't think from the outside we have received like many,
most of the times,
barriers.
it's majorly just stupid people, I can say.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Interesting. And the one thing that you want to say to people who have really been accepting you and loving you and sending you messages, positive messages, what would you like to tell them?
Thank you so much. Like you guys made our days. Like
We love you so much.
Nothing would be possible without them. So
Thank you so much for coming. It has been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to make sure we play as many videos of yours as possible because the world needs to see your talent. The world needs to see what Tile and Martina are as individuals and as a couple and as this beautiful dancing couple that I love. So yes, thank you so much for coming on board. We'll definitely have this conversation at another time. But yes, until then, good night. It's been a wrap. We'll do this again next week, same time, same place. Lots and lots of love to you.
Jerusalema ikayalami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana.
My baby, my Valentine. Yeah, now you do make it with temperature days. If you leave me a good time, I swear. You are like the oxygen I need to survive. I'll be honest. Love it, get totally me. I am so obsessed. I want to chop your heart.
Kupata mithali 6:20 kama sikiza tune kwenye simu yako, bonyeza *811 *817#.
Methali 6:20. Mwanangu, shika maagizo ya baba yako, wala usisahau mafundisho ya mama yako. Yaweke daima moyoni mwako, yafunge shingoni mwako, yatakuongoza njiani mwako, yatakulinda wakati ulalapo.
Kupata mithali 6:20, bonyeza *811 *817#. *811 *817#.